Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first and only possibly Diamond Masochist tournament. We have 8 of the most prestigious, most grindy Diamond Masochist players out there, and we are going to be seeing who is truly the one Masochist to rule them all. Here is how the tournament is going to work. We are going to be doing single elimination, best 2 out of 3 games for an entire match. Winner moves on, loser is out. I think that's it. I don't really know what else to say. Is that it? Am I missing anything? We will be watching every single match, one by one, live for each of you to be able to we will be watching each one of the matches live for you guys to react to live, so you do not miss any of the action. If you really enjoy seeing the Masochist tournament and all of the shenanigans that take place, I look forward to seeing your response below. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce the 8 Masochists. We have Endless Maso, Masoio, Masochist, Ren Masochist, Mexicist, Dead Masochist, Aquard, and Mazaboot. Those are your 8 Diamond Masochists. They are already set up at their tables. And for round number 1, we have Endless Maso versus Masoio. So please go ahead and begin the match, you two. We will spectate here momentarily. The rest of you can just sit and chill in the meantime. Get ready to duel. All right, I hope I didn't forget anything. All right, looks like for our very first match, we have Endless Maso versus Masoio. And Masoio is going to be going first with a Deskbot 003 normal summon, allowing them to get another Deskbot from the deck. And there is Deskbot 001. Where are we gonna go from here, huh? Looks like we're doing a Link summon, or excuse me, a Synchro summon, I missed the animation, into a Herald of the Arclight, already denying any possible interaction, and set to pass. Very interesting. This stops a lot of graveyard shenanigans, which a lot of Masochist decks can have. Also an Omni, backed up by 2 back row. That's not a bad opener. This may look like a very bad opener, but for Masochist, if you get an Omni, you take it. You take what you can get. Oh, and a Pankratops immediately hitting the field from Endless Maso's side. Easily able to contest this Herald of the Arclight, but there are 2 back rows, so what is going to happen? Pankratops is just nasty, though. And a Zodiac Ram. We get to see some Dryden action, potentially? We're creating the overlay network for the Zodiac Chakanine, which is going to immediately get hit by a Karma Cut, potentially pitching Naturia's Sacred Tree. Hey, I need this card. But a bit of a slip up here, potentially, because Chakanine does have the Ram as material with the inherited effect to be able to protect itself from the Karma Cut. Do we have a response from Masoio? We do. He's going to go ahead and tribute off the Herald of the Arclight to negate and possibly take care of this Chakanine. And Chakanine is down. Now, Masoio still has to contest with this Pank, but the Sacred Tree is going to resolve in a separate chain here to add a Naturia card, and it is the Naturia Mole Cricket. God, I'm so jealous I don't have that card. And a Bestial Magnemut from Endless Maso. The pressure keeps coming. 2 URs that are some of the craziest URs you could possibly pull. 5,100 damage on the field here. That Magnemut is going to activate its effect. And it's going to be met with Bottomless Trap Hole. So Masoio is able to stave off some of the damage here. But that Magnemut is still going to get a +1 in the end phase here. But who knows? Maybe Endless Maso has a way to end... Oh, never mind. Okay, so Pankratops is just going to hit in. Which, to be fair, Pank is still insane, so it doesn't matter. All right, entering main phase 2. We got a couple set cards. Masoio has an uphill battle here, and the Magnemut's going to trigger in the end phase. Searching a Royal Rare Druid Worm. That's crazy. Masoio does have a Mole Cricket, though. That does represent 2 bodies on the current field. We're going to see Mole Cricket normal summon here. Now, this is interesting. We're immediately tributing off the Mole Cricket. Pankratops now has no targets because I believe it's opponent's cards. Yes, it is opponent's cards. So we're going to get Camellia and Sunflower. Now, this Sunflower does check the Pankratops in theory. However, Pankratops still needs to be hit over somehow. So, Endless Mazo's still looking pretty good here. We're synchroing for Stardust Charge Warrior. No longer have the protection from the Pankratops. Stardust Charge Warrior set 1 pass. Pank gonna be tributed off in the end phase here. Imagine going after the back row. It looks like it. And there goes Ice Dragon's Prison. Oh my god, does Mizoyo just like have my deck? And a World Legacy Secret to revive the Pankratops. Oh my god. Talk about the 1-2 punch. Now Pank is back online. That is just backbreaking. This is why Pankratops is one of the most coveted cards by Masochist players. Into the Charge Warrior we go. 600 damage dealt to Masoyo. Still an uphill battle. There's still another face down that Masoyo has to contend with. But because it's Masochist, you have time. Oh, and a set from Masoyo. That's not good. We're going to keep Pankratops around here. Endless Mazo is just off to an insane start. And Mech Knight Purple Nightfall being played in the column with a set card. Another giant body. Off the Purple Nightfall goes. Are we going to get a blue sky here? That's insane, dude. Oh my god. And now Blue Sky's going to hit the field. That'll allow it to search 1 additional card if there are any targets, and it looks like there is because we're activating the effect. And there's the Indigo Eclipse, aka Move Man. Do not have another column to form here, but we're just going to get in for some damage. Ooh, Horn Needle in the hand. That's rough. 2,600 to the face, but Masoyo is not out of it. It's not looking good, but maybe there's hope. Who knows? And there is another Deskbot 003. Is this going to be contended with? The effect's resolving. We're getting Deskbot 4. We're just going to battle phase. Looks like we're going to try to use 004 here, going into the blue sky. And we're going to tribute off the Pankratops to try to deal with this 004 before it can resolve. But we're using the quick effect of the 003. Pump it up to 1,500, get the stat boost before the 004 goes to the graveyard, but it just goes back down. And it looks like any monster might do it here unless Masoyo has some trick up his sleeve. Purple Nightfall is going to return to the field in the standby phase, and it looks like it might be lights out for game 1 here. Endless Mazo might take it. Summoning the Move Man. Another column has been formed. And this is just insane damage right now. And it looks like that might be it. Final attack through. And Endless Mazo takes game 1 of the first match of the Diamond Masochist tournament. GG's. So now players are going to go immediately into a game 2. Masoyo gets to choose whether or not they want to go first or second. And hopefully they can bring this one back. And here we go. Game 2 of the first match of the Diamond Masochist tournament. Masoyo did choose to go first here. And we're starting with the Deskbot 003 again. We saw this in game 1. This did make a Herald of the Arclight. Can we do a little bit more? Syncing off again. And there's the Herald. Only 1 back row this time, though. So same opener, 1 less back row. Let's see what Endless Mazo has. Looks like we're making a column. And the purple Nightfall is here. Masoyo has the window to respond here, and it's a time-space trap hole. But we're going to chain purple Nightfall to attempt to dodge here. Are we going to Herald negate this? We're going to let this go. Interesting. But now there's no column for this Mech Knight unless we form another one into the column with the Arc Light. And we do have another card. There's the Blue Sky. Blue Sky is going to trigger. We do know of the move, man. Herald is going to negate this one. Does Endless Mazo have a response? They do not. So Herald is going to negate the Blue Sky. So one Mech Knight dealt with, another one sort of in purgatory. And we drew the Mazaboot again! Oh my god. It's horror flashbacks from game one all over again. Not like this. That's rough. And tanky with the set. This time we are going to see the Zoo combo resolve. Oh man, Masoyo is going to have such an uphill battle here. Grabbing the Whiptail. Normal summon Whiptail. We're probably going to go through the entire chain, I imagine. We're going into the Chakanine immediately. Immediately upgrading. Into the Dryden. 2 material Dryden with the Whiptail underneath, so it does have a little bit of protection. And we're getting in for 3,800 here. Just about half of Mazio's life total. So we possibly have to contest with these 2 back row. The Druid Worm's going to come down, and we do have a target for it because we do have the Blue Sky Engrave. So that is technically online. So this is a lot for Masoyo to have to play through. We do have a column formed as well, potentially. Purple Nightfall's going to come back too. This is a lot of pressure. Myrmelio normal summon. Gonna grab Bottomless. Another set card. 2 set cards. Interesting, we placed it in the column with Myrmelio, but I guess the Magnumbutt's already taking up the place. End phase, we're gonna Druid Worm, banish the Blue Sky to special summon. Purple Nightfall's gonna come down as well. Ugh. This is a lot. And World Legacy's Memory. We're going to get a Mech Knight here. We're just going to bring the Purple Nightfall out. And just banish it immediately. And let's just get another search. 2 Purple Nightfalls, by the way. That's unbelievable. There's the move, man. So we have 2 Purple Nightfalls coming back. We could probably make a column to get the move man out onto the field. This is just absolutely brutal. Purple Nightfall's resolving, coming back to the field. This is lethal if this all goes through. Naturia's Sacred Tree on attack declaration. Dryden just going to chain in response here to destroy the Sacred Tree. Man, this is just brutal. Tree's going to activate Engrave, but I mean, I don't think it really matters at this point. We get the Cricket here, but I don't know if we can survive the 4,200 unless we did the world's biggest bait, and that set card is like a Mirror Force. But assuming that the Magnemuk got through, I think this is going to be lights out for Masoyo. And World Legacy Whispers here, buffing up the Druid Swarm. A little bit of BM to show dominance. And what an absolutely dominating performance by Endless Mazo. Moving on to semis. That is going to be tough to beat. Good games, good games, good games. That does it for round one. Or match one, I should say. We still got 3 more to go. Next up, Ren Masochist and Mazochist. You two may begin, and I'm excited to see what you guys brought. Here we go, round 2, or match 2 of the first round of the Diamond Masochist tournament. Looks like Masochist is going to be going first. Let's see what they're up to. Whoever wins this round is going to have to play Endless Mazo, and we see a Wisdom Eye Magician in the scale. Uh-oh. Pendulums and a Harmonizing Magician scaled as well. That means the Wisdom Eye will be able to trigger here. Popping itself, going to the extra deck. And there is Oath Dragon. Ooh, that's pretty good. So we have scales complete. We are just going for the pen summon. How wide are we going? That Wisdom Eye can go to the extra monster zone. It looks like it is. Oh, just set Wisdom Eye set 1? 2? No, that's it? Oh, man. That's unfortunate. I was expecting to see some big pendulum play here, but we do have scales established. Oath Dragon's recursion, so I mean, it's Masochist, right? You know, maybe we can get away with it. Dimensional Fissure coming down on Ren's side here. That's going to be annoying. And 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set cards. Interesting. Okay. Plays back to Chris. Does have penned access here. Going for another pendulum summon. So we did get something. Dark Simorg! Oh my god, and that gets met with Bottomless Trap Hole immediately. And that's going to be banished. That could have been a disaster. Holy. Wisdom Eye going to attack. We're just going to try to poke in here. 1500 connects. Might just see a pass from Chris here, and it looks like we are. Okay, play back to Ren. Still has 3 back row. That DeFi is up. Normal summon of White Wing Magician. This card is a tuner, notably. It also has 100 more attack points than Wisdom Eye. Let's see if Chris has a response here. That Wisdom Eye is getting banished. Forbidden Chalice being activated to pump up the Wisdom Eye to 19 to beat the White Wing. And a Forbidden Chalice from Ren to pump their White Wing up by 400. The plays! The plays! New chain? Anything? Chris, it looks like could have a response here. Time Pendulum Graph! Oh my god, that is so good. Didn't go into the damage step, notably, with the Chalice. Otherwise, wouldn't have been able to do this. So we're going to target the Oath Dragon and the White Wing Magician here. White Wing's going to get banished. Remember, that Dimensional Fissure is online. And that's it for Chris. Plays back to Ren here. Oh, excuse me. That's it for Ren. Plays back to Chris. Chalice, one of the best rares that you can get as a Masochist. Normal summon of Double Iris. That gives us 2 monsters on the field. Unfortunately, Dimensional Fissure's up. We're just going to go straight to battle here. Harmonizing is buffing these by 100 each. So this is 32. This is almost half. Drowning Mirror Force going to take care of the Wisdom Eye and the Double Iris. We do have Time Pendulum Graph here, possibly in response to try to take something out to ensure we get at least some value here. Going to target the Wisdom Eye and the set. Not caring about the Dimensional Fissure. Interesting. Because that Wisdom Eye is going to get banished. It's not going to go back to the extra deck. The Double Iris is going to get shuffled back for the Drowning Mirror Force. Ren's down to 1 card here, though. But Chris is passing. So Ren's going up to 2. Both players at 3 cards. But Time Pendulum Graph is still a disruption that Chris has access to. Normal summon Bunbuku. Looks like we have another Pendulum player here. I've seen some Masochist decks play White Wing just because it's a tuner. Sometimes you need one. And we're going to get another Bumbuku. One of the fun facts about this card is that it does not self-exclude itself from being searched. And we're going to scale a Majesty Pegasus. And we're also going to scale the Bumbuku here as well. Majesty Pegasus is going to trigger. We get to add a Draco Slayer Pendulum. There is the Dynamister Power Load. We're going to pop the Bumbuku. Remember, it's treated as a spell, so DeFi doesn't affect it. There is the Dynamite Power Load. This does give us scale, so Bumbuku can hit the field. Now, notably, the Magispectors are very annoying because they can't be targeted or destroyed. So we're going to get in for 2,400 here. Looks like we have a battle of the pendulums on our hands. And just like that, it looks like Ren's back in it. Nice little engine here. And Ren's going to pass it back to Chris. Pendulum Graph with limited utility here. Normal summon his own Magispector. There's a Yada. Gonna grab ourselves a Magispector Cyclone here. Yada's still too small to get over these Bumbukus, though. We're gonna set a card. Wonder what it could be. And we're just passing. Big turn here for Ren. Big turn here for Ren. Going straight to battle phase. These Bumbukus are gonna get in. Yada's going to get banished. Remember, Dimensional Fissure is up. And another 12 to the face. Massacre's down to 4,300. Still has time. 2-turn clock with these Bumbukus out on the field. A set card from Ren and a pass back over to Chris. Even if Chris... Well, to be fair, Chris, if they have a way to get over the Bumbukus, they would get banished. But we're just setting and passing here. Those Bumbukus are small, so... There is a world where Ren can't get over whatever the set monster is. That's not super unlikely. If Chris gets any low scale, they can bring this Oath Dragon out. Well, not any. It has to be one that pairs with Harmonizing. Magispector Tornado just being used here to banish the set. We're not even messing around. And it was a super heavy Samurai General Core. This Bumbuku's getting in. We still have a 3-turn clock from this one Bumbuku. Didn't even see what the set was. We just banished it with the tornado. Maybe a bit hasty there, but it's fair. And there's the low... Oh, no, it's a high scale, but I think it can maybe... Oh, no, it just has the pendulum effect where you can summon a Symphonic Warrior, potentially. Nib! Wow, Masochist has Nib access. That's huge information to give up to Ren in game 1. But Guitar is going to get the Mix. And Mix is huge. Mix is 2,400. Getting that 100 buff from the Harmonizing. Fiendish Chain on the Mix, though, is going to protect the Bumbuku. Not wasting any time. Not even getting to attack deck. Mix is the low scale. I was getting confused for a second. All right, now Ren has to find a way to answer this Mix. Big guy is big. It can't attack, so Ren has time. And we're just passing. Still anyone's game. Setting and passing. Interesting. Maybe afraid if the Mix gets outed that they're defenseless. Pot of Prosperity. What a pull. Holy. We go in 6. Looks like Ren's deciding on how deep they want to go. It's 6. We get a lot of information out of Ren's deck here, potentially. Another Bumbuku, Ren, Ryu, Sambel, Torrential, Nekomata, and Compulse. And we're going for another Bumbuku. So 3 Bumbukus in Ren's deck. That's going to add us a Yada. We can pen that Yada out. And it looks like that's what we're going to do. Yada's going to add a Magispector spell. And we have a Cyclone on Ren's side now. We know that Chris has the Cyclone set, I believe. This is a way to out the Mix. Oh, we're going to use the effect of the other Dynamite Power Load, excuse me. Targeting a Draco Slayer or Dynamis card in the other zone and special it. So we're going to bring out the Majesty, but we're going to time Pendulum Graph in response. Ensure that doesn't happen. We're going after the Majesty. That will go to the extra deck. Remember, it's not treated as a monster. And we're going to overlay for Gram Pulse. Okay, we're gonna try to take out the back row here. We are going for the back row. Was the Cyclone. We did know about that. No Magispector to pair with it, though. And there is Super Heavy Samurai Scales, the 1800 defense holding up against Gram Pulse's 1800 attack. That's hilarious. Set 1. Set 2. We know one of those is Cyclone. We do not know the other. Leaving this mix on the field does set up the potential for a sort of Link 2 play or something. But we do have the Cyclone to answer whatever we need to, depending. A normal summon of the Super Heavy Samurai Soul Gaia Booster. Ren thinking what they want to do here. We got 3 monsters on the field potentially for a Link 3. We got 2 4s for a rank 4. Chris has some options. And we're overlaying. What rank 4 are we going into here? Bagooska. Now, for those wondering, we are allowing the players to use their cards, whether they're, possibly banned or not. It's whatever they hit Diamond with when they first hit Diamond. So you might see some of these cards around. That is perfectly fine. All players were fine with that. Cyclone's going to be used here to deal with the Yada. Or, excuse me, to tribute off the Yada to deal with the mix. And so Bagooska's going to go into the Gram Pulse. Ren's going to take a little bit of damage from that. The Cyclone's gone. We don't know what that other back row is. The Cyclone was unable to target the Bagooska because it is in attack mode. People do forget sometimes that it has that effect. Ren just going to pass. Chris's turn now. Going to have the mandatory maintenance cost here. Bagooska. We're going to detach the Super Heavy Samurai helmet. Normal summon of Curtain Raiser. This is 3,200. This is a 2-turn clock if Ren doesn't have a response. Looks like these are going to connect here potentially. And they are. Ren might be on their last turn here potentially. Chris behind the whole game, and now looks like they are in control. Set card from Ren. This does represent lethal here on Chris's side. Is Chris going to take game 1 of this set? Remember, this is still game 1 for this set. Maintenance cost for Bagooska paid. If one more turn passes, the terribly tired Tapir will be taking a trip to Snooze Town in the graveyard. Actually, the banished pile, because DeFi's up. And a normal summon of Bumbuku on Chris's side. We've seen so many Bumbukus this game. It's been crazy. The Torrential! Oh my god, the Torrential! That isn't going to kill the Bumbuku, but it is going to take out the other thing. The Tapir will stay, though, because it also can't be destroyed by card effects. The Curtain Raiser is in the banished pile now. This is still lethal. Even with the Torrential, does Ren's set card save them? We're going to scale Nekomata. That does complete scales here. Oh, Chris is going full greed now. We get the Oath Dragon. Harmonizing cannot be summoned from the Pendulum Zone, or from the extra deck zone, excuse me. But this is lethal damage. Bagooska got through. And I think Chris is going to be taking game 1 of the set. Wow, what a crazy game 1. That was just game 1. Crazy, 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 crazy. All right, game 2, let's get going. I'm sure Ren's ready for the run back. Remember, the winner of this is going to be playing Endless Mazo in the semis here. I'm sure all duelists are taking notes on what the other players are playing so that they can account for it in their duels. And game 2 of the second match of the Diamond Masochist tournament is on. Looks like Ren made... Ren's going first here. I was about to say, that does not seem right in the slightest. Seeing Wandering Griffin Rider being activated in the hand and special summoned. Normal summon Bumbuku, that's going to activate. Maybe just get another copy of Bumbuku. No, we're going for the Majesty Pegasus. Immediately going to scale that. And has the power load. This is scales. Link 2 here. Beyond the Pendulum. Oh my god. Uh-oh. This looks pretty good for Ren. We're going to add Yada. Here comes the Pendulum Summon. There's the Bumbuku. There's the Yada. The Yada's going to trigger. Probably add the Cyclone. So we've got interaction. We're going to use the Power Load. Target the Majesty. That's going to summon the Majesty. Majesty's going to activate. We get to add a field spell. We are playing the Magispector field spell. Hilarious. Hey, why not? Big boost. We're going to activate to special summon a Magispector from the deck. Do have to get rid of the Majesty, but that's totally fine. Going for the Nekomata, so we're going to get a search in the end phase. That's probably going to add us another Bumbuku, but we'll see. We'll see. Going for a XYZ summon here. Totem Bird. Oh, the classic from 2017 Zoo format. Ren's board has multiple interruptions here. Nekomata's going to add in the end phase. Probably going to be a Bumbuku. Looks like it is. Chris has some stuff to play through. Let's see how they respond. And by the way, I forgot to mention, there's a Gizmek in the graveyard that got discarded off the Majesty Pegasus's effect. So we even got that to contend with as well. All right, starting with a Scale of Guitar. We're going to go ahead and pitch to summon the Mix out of the deck. Pitching Harmonizing. Interesting. There's Mix. That'll give us an extra normal summon, I believe. There's the extra normal summon for the Ogama. That's going to set a Magispector spell or trap. We do know that Chris has Cyclone. And we're going to use Cyclone here. Get rid of the Yada. And get rid of the Mix. Ogama's going to resolve now. We're going to grab a Tempest. So we do have a negate. And there's a Super Heavy Samurai Motorbike being activated. Are we going to see everyone's favorite Super Heavy Samurai? We are. We're going to go to battle. Ogama's going to get over beyond here. Totem Bird's a little bit too big. Ren's going to take a bit of damage. That Totem Bird's still up, though. Chris is passing. This makes sense because they're going to wait until the Tempest is online to deal with the Totem Bird. Unless Ren just goes full throttle here and just has a way to OTK Chris. We're going battle. Totem Bird going to attack into the Ogama. Makes sense. Turns off the Tempest. Nothing to tribute. Now we pretty much are free to use our monster effects. We knew the Bumbuku was in hand. We're going to add another Nekomata. That would give us scales potentially. We are going to scale up. We can Pendulum Summon at minimum 1. We're going to use the Pegasus. Tribute off the Bumbuku. Grab a QB. QB's going to grab... We saw Tornado in game 1. And it looks like that's what we're going to grab here. Tornado is a banish. And we're going to activate Gizmek. Interesting we're doing this in main phase 2. Makes sense, though, because otherwise Tempest could stop it. Linking off into a Cross Sheep, giving us 2 zones for the Pendulum Summon now. So now we can bring back the QB as well as either the Bumbuku or the Yada, or we can also bring back the Majesty as well. That sets up a rank 4 play, potentially. Pendulum Summon. Here comes the Yada. Here comes the Majesty. Making a rank 4 here would trigger Cross Sheep, but I believe that would just drain. Yes, Exige just drains, which doesn't really matter because Chris doesn't have anything on board. We are overlaying. For Tornado Dragon. That's a sick pull. That can not only deal with the set, but also a scale potentially. Now, there is a world where you'd want to fire the Tornado Dragon immediately to deal with Tempest, because as soon as they get a Magispector on field, that Tempest is live again. But Ren in a very dominating position here. Chris has a lot of cards to work with, though, so can't count him out. Special summon Scales. Gonna go ahead and get the Motorbike. DD Crow was the last card in hand! Oh my god. Scales not going to get the Motorbike. Insane. We're just gonna normal summon the Wakushi. Wakaushi, excuse me. And then we're going to scale the Monk Big Benteke. This is going to be met with Tornado Dragon, though. No Magispector for Tempest here, so this is going to work. Big Benkei is in the extra deck. No Resolution. We know Ren also has Tornado set, but no Magispectors on field. So maybe shielding the last back row. Draco Berserker is the Synchro summon. And Bottomless was the other back row. Oh, Draco Berserker could have cleaned up. Wow, that's rough. That is rough indeed. I think Chris might be out of it here. We might be seeing a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. This is 7,100 damage. We have scales. We can easily get the damage necessary here. We know the set is Tempest because the Ogama did set it. Here comes the Pen Summon. There's the QB. And there's the Bambuku. We're just getting our searches in if we have anything left. We apparently don't. We're just getting in for damage. And I think that's it. We are going to game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. Oh, I love Masochist. Man, I love Masochist. All right, time for the all-important game 3 of the second match of round 1 of the Masochist tournament. Masochist is going to go first. And we're going to start with the motorbike. That's a fantastic start because we know they have the Wakushi. We might be seeing a crazy board here. Wakushi is scaled. Masochists aren't particularly known for having interaction on turn 0, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. We're getting the Big Benkei to the scale. Wakushi's going to special summon itself to the main monster zone. The Big Benkei is going to activate, and we are going to get a Soul Gaia booster to the hand. We're going to activate the Soul Gaia booster, equip it to the Wakushi. We're going to special summon it out. Ren might have a response. Really? Soul Gaia booster hits the field. That's 2 4s. Also could just be setting up for a big pendulum summon. We're synchroing into Excel Stardust Synchro Dragon Royal Rare. Gonna summon a level 2 or lower tuner from the graveyard. Also trigger the Wakaushi, placing it in the pen zone. So now we have pen scales. Excel gonna bring back the motorbike. That is a tuner. We have 10 stars worth of material on field. No shot. Baron in Masochist. Oh my god. What an insane pull. Chris hasn't even pendulum summoned yet. This is crazy. Normal summon of scales. We're going to activate scales. Bring back the motorbike. This is nuts, dude. This is fucking crazy. We're going to motorbike. We're going to up the level. It's so interesting that there is a small window for Ren to do something. I'm very curious what that is. We're going to sink for 8 into Super Heavy Samurai Ninja Sarutobi. And now we are finally pendulum summoning after all of that. Skullcrobat Joker and wow. This is insane. Cyclone grabbed with Ogama. So we have a pop. We have a negate. We have a spell and trap pop. Linking off into Dagda. Are we going to have a Dagda lock? No way. Baron targeting the Dagda. That's going to trigger the Dagda. Oh my god. There's Scythe. Oh shit. And another back row in addition to that. Wow. Ren, Godspeed. You have a lot of work to do. And Sarutobi in the draw phase is going to immediately pop the Scythe, which will trigger the Scythe to special summon itself and activate its effect to prevent Ren from special summoning for the turn. Oh my god. This is like a constructed level combo, dude. Holy shit. Considering Ren is a pendulum deck, this is going to be rough. Paying 3,000 for Ascended of Thunder. Scythe does just prevent stuff from the extra deck. Ascended gonna get over Scythe here. Ren's got some back row, and play is back to Chris. Now, Barons, that represents a negate. We also have the fact that the Sarutobi is a pop. So we're immediately going to go after a back row here. Use it or lose it, Ren. And there goes Bottomless. Wasn't doing much anyway. 500 damage from the Sarutobi's effect. All right, we're using the Baron to just pop a card. We're probably going to go after the back row here, I imagine. It is Fiendish Chain, which Baron can negate. That does get out the Baron negate. So if Ren has any follow-up, there's the opportunity. But that's if Ren is able to survive this turn. Chris has the world at their fingertips right now. We're Big Ben-K'ing to get another Super Heavy Samurai Soul from the deck. And there's the Soul Piercer. Going for the Pen Summon here. We've got at minimum 2 monsters coming in. There's the Ogama. There's the Soul Piercer. And Mix as well. Granting an additional normal summon. Ogama's also going to trigger. We're going to get another card here. This is unbelievable. This is fucking unbelievable. Searching Tempest. And it looks like we're just going in here. The Sarutobi can attack while it's in defense position. The super heavy special. 100 damage here. The Ascendant of Thunder is going to give Ren back 5,000 life points. So I think Ren is still alive. This is 53, 63, 66, 76. This is 78. Ren will be at 1,100 if my math is right. Everything getting in. Ren possibly has a response here. Is it the Orochi? Maybe. And Ren left with just 1,100 life points. And boy, does Ren have a hill to climb. We know about the Tempest. I think there's a Cyclone in the back row. Sarutobi can pop a spell or trap, which means that pen summoning is going to be difficult. It was Orochi, so we're going to summon it in end phase here. That's a start. And now Ren has the turn. What's Ren gonna do? This is tough. This is tough. Going to battle phase. I think we're gonna attack Ogama to turn off Tempest or force Cyclone. We are gonna Cyclone here. I think this is right because otherwise Gizmek gets a free shot to destroy something with its other effect. So Gizmek's gone. Gizmek can only use one effect or the other. Hypothetically, we could bring back the Gizmek and attack again, but we're not going to. We're going to normal summon Bumbuku here. Tempest is offline, so this is going to resolve. And Chalice is going to be activated, but Magispector, Raccoon, Bumbuku cannot be targeted. So I think a bit of a misplay here from Chris, unless there's something I'm missing. I think we definitely have a misplay there. That could matter. Bumbuku going to search here. Opportunity for Ren. Still have to deal with the Sarutobi. We're getting Nekomata. Special summon Ranryu. Bumbuku is a spellcaster, so that's a free special summon. Going for Beyond. And passing. No, not like this. Oh, man. I think that's it. I think that's it, everyone. We're going to Baron effect. Get back Scales here. Scales here is going to special summon the bike. Doing this all in the standby phase. We're going to synchro summon 3 of our monsters. Go into Baron again because we have 10 stars, which means the negate is now back online. Soul Piercer triggers here as well. This prevents the Gizmek from coming back and walling off an attack. Getting another motorbike. Insane. And the normal summon of Bumbuku. Chris just showing off a little bit here. Also just making sure that they have everything they need so that Ren doesn't have anything up their sleeve. Getting a Yada. Linking off here for an Electromite. Huge information giveaway here from Chris. Wow, Electromite is massive. What an insane pull for an already insane deck. Gonna put Pendulum Witch in the extra deck. Gonna use the effect of Electromite. We're gonna pop. Big Benkei is on its way out. Gonna re-add the Benkei. Trigger the third effect of Electromite to draw a card. Reactivate the Benkei. Let's see where this is going. Might be trying to get a second negate on board here. Getting the Ogama back means the Tempest is back online, so we have 2 negates. And we also have a Porcupine being spotted for the first time. So now we have Baron and we have the Tempest. So I think we're pretty much in the clear here. Should be an easy path to lethal. Gizmek's not going to be able to act it. Well, it can activate. It's just going to get negated. Ogama getting in over Beyond. We going to finish it with Yada? Nah, we're getting in with Baron. Good games. Good games, Masochists. Good games. Wow. The Battle of the Pendulums has been taken by Masochist, who is going to be playing Endless Mazo in the semis. 2 big decks in the semifinals. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3rd match of the first round of the Diamond Masochist tournament. We have Mexicist against Dead Masochist. Looks like Dead Masochist is going to be starting us off here with a special summon of the Masochist staple, Kashtira Ogre. Gotta love some Ogre gaming. And a normal summon of Clock Wyvern. We're going to have its attack to special summon a Clock token. Gives us 2 link worth of material, possibly 3 with the Ogre. Going to go into Talkback Lancer. Might just be getting it so that it's an effect monster so we can link it off with the Clock Wyvern for Verte Anaconda. Oh, no. Oh, no, chat. Special summon Turbo Booster. And here we go. 2,000 life points for Verte. Send Fusion Destiny. That can mean only one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Verte Anaconda is going to copy the effect. We're going to send Dogma and Denier for Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. What a crazy opening from Dead Masochist. Having all the necessary material for a DPE and 2 set cards in the back row. And in the end phase, we are going to use the DPE, destroy itself and the Turbo Booster. Going to trigger the DPE to make sure it comes back. Skullmeister! Oh my god! DP's negated! No fucking way! That is going to trigger Ogre, but who gives a shit? Revealing 5 cards, we see Terrifying Toddler of Torment, Lab Archfiend, Unchained Twins, Aruha, Labyrinth Setup, and Lost Wind. Wow, Skullmeister on the DPE. The Aruha is out of here, and play goes over to Mexicist. Huge break from Mexicist. They don't have to deal with DPE. You have to deal with Ogre, possibly banishing something, and the 2 back row. And they had the Kaiju anyway! Oh my fucking god! Normal summon Ariane? Wow, 2 outs to the DPE. Unreal. We're going to send Fair Welcome, but that is going to be met with a Fog Blade. No Labyrinth shenanigans here. We had an Aruha in hand anyway. We can pop the Ariane, bring out the Aruha, and we're just going to battle here. We're going to take out the Verte, it looks like. Just in case. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's something else lurking in the deck. I doubt it, but you don't want to find out. And that's all Mexicist has. Aruha and pass. That Radiant on the field is big, so Dead Masochist does have a bit of breathing room here. How is Dead Masochist going to navigate this? We're just going to battle. We're just going to hit in. Deal with the Aruha head on. Looks like it. Trigger the Aruha. And there is a Sarama. That's scary. And it gets Kaiju'd by a Dokkan. We have the battle of the Kaijus here in the Masochist battle. All right, and we're just passing. This Dogron can contest the Radiant, but Dead Masochist does have a back row. Mexicist drawing to 2 cards for turn. Normal summon a Fiendish Rhino Warrior. And we're just going to battle. Dogron's going to try to take out the Radiant. It's going to connect. Fiendish Rhino going to get in for some damage here. Or maybe not. Okay, 1400. Dead Masochist isn't dead yet. I still can't believe the Skullmeister on the DPE. That was nuts. We're going for a Link 2 here. There's a Muckracker from the Underworld. Gonna trigger the Fiendish Rhino Warrior to dump a Fiend from deck to grave. And there's Soul Scissors. Muckracker gonna activate. We're gonna get the Sarama back. Pitching the Toddler of Torment that we actually knew from the Ogre. That's going to trigger the Toddler of Torment because now we can special summon it face down. Sarama's going to trigger now. Going to get back the Aruha. Then we get to pop. Oh, this isn't looking good for Dead Masochist. Aruha going to trigger. What are we going to get? Do we have a Shavara? We do not. We instead have Shiyama. But that is going to trigger and pop this back row. Which in turn will trigger the Sarama. And it was D-Tactics. Sarama's going to trigger Engrave now. As well as the D-Trigger, which is going to add a Destiny Hero to Dead Masochist's hand. Gonna get Drill Dark here. And we're gonna get... We do, in fact, have Shavara. And we're overlaying. Are we gonna see the Wave High King Caesar? Oh, now we have an... Oh, my God. Dead Masochist. Woo! Good luck. Another Kaiju, perhaps? Normal summon Lifeless Leaf Fish, which is gonna dump a fish. We have a Goaty Schiff, which is going to banish itself to target a fish to make it 2k. That means the Schiff will come back because it got banished on the next standby phase. We're going to hit over Muckracker here. Soul Scissors is going to trigger, though. And that's going to pop the Lifeless Leaf Fish. So even though the Goaty is going to come back, I don't know if it's going to be enough. We had to normal summon the Lifeless Leaf Fish. We have Denier, though. Caesar's going to negate, unsurprisingly. Denier has been denied. Shavara's going to trigger here. Going to get the Chamber. And that is it. Dead Masochist is going to concede. Mexicist has won game 1 of this set. That DPE getting shut down by Skullmeister was unbelievable. And Mexicist had a Kaiju anyway. It just happened to work out that way. Let's see what happens for game 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, game 2 of round 3 of the first of match 3 of round 1. Man, this is getting harder and harder to say. Anyway, Dead Masochist is probably going to be going first. We see a very similar play to game 1 of a normal summon of Clock Wyvern. That's going to reduce its attack to summon a token. That is immediately access to Verte Anaconda. Dead Masochist is now aware of Skullmeister as well as the Kaiju. So even with DPE hitting the field, there's still a shot that Mexicist has the out to it. Let's see if Dead Masochist does anything else to adapt. We're going straight for the Anaconda. 1 card DPE is insane, actually. All right, there go our materials. And just like that, the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer is back. 1 back row from Dead Masochist and a pass. The Kaiju again! Oh my god, Mexicist has the out! Unreal! Oh, but is that it? No, we have Shavara to pop the set! Oh, poor Dead Masochist. No! One of the best possible things you could have in Masochist outed so seemingly easily. It was Chamber, so that is going to trigger here. This is going to get out of hand real quick. All right, there's the Shyama. We're going after the back row again. Or maybe not. We do have Caesar again, though, which is horrifying. We're just going straight for it. No, we're going for Muckracker. Interesting. Shavar's going to trigger. We already saw Chamber. We have to see what else that the, Mexicist has. Favorite contact in response? Oh, shit. There goes DPE. And there is Dystopia. Dogma got shuffled back in. Escape was the new set off of the Shavara. Dystopia is going to trigger on special summon, bring back the Denier. And Shyama is going to trigger, pop the Escape, bring itself back. That's going to trigger Escape. We're going to get another Unchained from the deck. Gonna get Sayama here, makes sense. Or Sarama, excuse me. Muckracker's gonna activate. We're gonna get the Shavara back. Gonna pitch Soul Scissors. Again, Soul Scissors. So strong. Now we're overlaying for the Caesar. There he is. Gonna go for Sarama here. Get the Escape. Gonna pop Muckracker. Gonna trigger Soul Scissors, which then allows us to pop. Probably target the Dystopia here. It's gonna force Dystopia. No, never mind. And then we just kill Verte here. Dead Masochist still left with a Radiant. Just setting another back row, setting 2 back rows. So maybe we just don't care about Radiant. All right, Dead Masochist. Let's see what moves you got. We're going to use the Denier Engrave. Looks like that's going to resolve. Going to bring itself to the field. Going to activate its effect. We're going to stack. Going to stack Decider. Normal summon the Shift. Saw this in game 1. That is a tuner. And we're going to use Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch. If you control a Fiend, target a card on the field, destroy it, then send a Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. We are going to take out the tuner, send the Fiendish Rhino Warrior, which is going to trigger to dump yet another Fiend monster. Dump the Labyrinth Chandelure. And we're just going to battle. Going to try to trade here into the Caesar, but we're going to use Escape. We knew that was set from the Sarama. We're going to pop the Sarama and the Radiant. That's going to trigger the Sarama. And the Shangri-Leer. Sarama's going to get Aruha. Denier's going to get over the Soul Scissors. It's going to get banished per its effect, but that's totally fine. It already served its purpose. And Dead Masochist is going to set 1 card. Mexicist is firmly in the driver's seat here. Prison is the activation. Going to add an Unchained. Just grab another Aruha. Why not? Gonna summon the Chandraglier. And we're just gonna go to battle. This is lethal if Dead Masochist doesn't have anything to say about it. Chandraglier getting in for 15. Caesar gonna finish it off. And just like that, Dead Masochist is in fact dead. A very unfortunate situation of having DPE outed not once, but twice in 2 separate games. And Mexicist, I would say, took that convincingly. Wow. Good games. Good games. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to our 4th and final game or match of the first round. We've got Aquard versus Mazaboot. Now, if you don't know, Mazaboot is one of the very few Masochists who has reached master rank. So they do not fuck around when it comes to Masochists. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 4th and final match of the first round of the Diamond Masochist tournament. And it looks like Mazaboot is going to be starting us off. Winner of this will go up against Mexicist, as we just saw, the Unchained Fiend Pile player, and Barrier Statue of the Heavens being played at Generator Boss Stage. And we are passing on that. Wow. Okay. Trigger Boss Stage. And we are going to bring out Utgarda, which is then going to trigger the boss stage again and give us some tokens here. Crazy opening from Mazaboot. No real protection. I mean, aside from the Utgarda being able to banish, I mean, the Barrier Statue is still a sitting duck, all things considered. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. Normal summon Lantern Shock. God, I wish I had this card. It's a normal, by the way. I'm not going to get salty. We're not here to talk about me. We're just going to go to battle phase, try to hit over Barrier Statue, but that is not going to work because the Utgarda is going to use its effect, tribute 2 of the generator tokens to pop the Lantern Shark. Oh, it's going to tribute itself, excuse me, banishing the Lantern Shark. Aquard going to main phase 2 here. No back row. The generator boss stage tokens are going to destroy themselves in the end phase here. Very curious to know why Mazaboot... Oh, my God. Lopter! We're just getting in! This time, Mazaboot has a back row. The generator boss stage is going to trigger again immediately here. Once Aquard draws a card, we're going to get to special summon a generator from the deck. Still curious why we tributed off the Utgarda. Oh, because we just have a second one, you know, because why not? So Utgarda once again putting up a wall. These generator tokens are huge. And Aquard doesn't look like they have any sort of response here. Another Lantern Shark. No! And we're just going to go to battle. Seems like a lost cause here to try to out the Barrier Statue. Utgarda's going to trigger. We've seen this before. Not like this, Aquard. Not like this. What a just devastating opening from Mazaboot here. And Aquard is just going to concede immediately. That is the fastest game we've had yet, understandably, because how do you beat that? Talk about an FTK, not even just in like a Masochist tournament, but against meta decks. That is just devastating. Wow. Now, Aquard is going to get to go first, most likely, in this game too here. So Aquard is going to get to show off their deck. We saw some sharks, so might see some Kraken action, maybe. It's possible. No back row, though, in a Masochist deck. That's got to be rough. Just no interaction whatsoever. Let's hop in. All right, round 2, or game 2. Boot is going second, which means Aquard is going first, unsurprisingly. They practically got FTK'd in the first game. Let's see what Aquard's got up their sleeve. Buzzsaw Shark normal summon. We know what this does. Looks like it's resolving. We're getting right hand Shark. Are we just going to go Crooked Cook? We're going to give Boot a taste of their own medicine? No, we're going Baguska. Interesting. Okay. Oh, it's the Battle of the Floodgates. Oh, my God. Baguska Kaiser. I don't know what's worse, bro. That's nasty. So for context, Kaiser is a card that is in fact banned in Master Duel. However, the players did get Diamond when they had Kaiser in their deck. So I did allow it for the tournament. All the players thought that was fine. Ultimate Slayer gonna come down here. Is this gonna be able to deal with the board? Setting Meteorologic Aggregator. We're gonna take out the Baguska here. Let's see if Aquard has a response to that. And just like that, Baguska's gone. Aggregators here. We can negate the Kaiser Coliseum. And just like that, Boot is in it, summoning a Buzzsaw Shark of their own. The tables have been turned, ladies and gentlemen. Getting a right-hand shark of their own. And just like that, there he is, number 4, Stealth Kraken with right-hand shark's ability, protecting it from battle. That Kaiser Coliseum is going to be back online, but it doesn't matter because Aquard will be under Kaiser's effect. So now they can only summon one monster, but Kraken will be able to pop it. So, ooh, rough. Getting in for 19. Bit of a ballsy attack potentially, but Mazaboot's going in. No fear. We set 1. We set 2. Setting conspicuously in the column with Kaiser Coliseum. Maybe we have an infinite impermanence. And now Aquard has to play under their own Kaiser. We're going to use right-hand shark. We just walling up here? What are we doing? We're going to normal Buzzsaw Shark. Okay. And here we go. Kraken's going to activate, but Lost Wind's going to activate in response to stop the Kraken. Does Mazaboot have a response to stop the Lost Wind? Forbidden Lance to protect! Forbidden Lance to protect the Kraken! Now you just have to pop the... Well, it doesn't even matter because it has the right-hand shark, so it's protected from battle. Buzzsaw Shark's out of here. Aquard's going to take 800. Do we have an extender? We have Crystal Shark being pitched for a white Stingray. That's going to be met with Dogmatica Punishment. Do we have Intis? We do have Intis. So Crystal Shark is only target's going to be Kraken. Aquard's out of... Oh, no. We're just going for the Kaiser. Crystal Shark's going to activate. We're going to go onto the white Stingray here to special summon it. We can overlay here for 101. Now, this does put the right-hand shark in Mazaboot's graveyard. So this isn't over. Mazaboot's drawing to 3 and has right-hand shark in grave. What an insane... We're upgrading! We have Zeus! Oh my god, we have fucking Zeus! Oh man, Boot might be in trouble. It's only a 1 send Zeus. We're using right-hand shark. I think we expected this. Right-hand shark's on the field. I think we're fine passing here. Normal Beautiful Princess. That's gonna allow us to get another shark, presumably. I think we're fine with this. It's Deep Sweeper. I think you Zeus here. I think that makes sense. There are some things that can deal with that. So I think you just want to get them out of here. Does Mazaboot have follow-up? And Boot has nothing. Boot has nothing, but Boot still has another turn potentially. And Aquard has a way to just immediately end the game right now. We're going to attack. Normal summon Leaf Fish. That's 45. Dumping Lantern Shark. We still have the Crystal Shark. Can we summon something that gives us enough damage? We also could just make a Kraken here and have a way to pop during Boot's turn. They are locked here. Giant Hand! Oh my god, that's a negate. This is 5,000 damage. Boot's down to 900, has to deal with a Giant Hand. That could be enough. Boot's not dead. They're drawn to 3 cards. The right-hand shark did get banished because when it comes back with its effect, it gets banished. So those 3 cards better be good. And Boot just passes. Is that it? Does Boot have something? You just go battle phase, right? Show them you have it. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to game 3. What an insane game 2. These have all been insane, but wow, this has been extra insane. Holy. And it's time for the all-important game 3 of the first round of the Diamond Masochist tournament. Boot, I imagine, is going to want to go first here. Normal summon of Condemned Witch, and we're going to just set 1, set 2, set 3. Unfortunately, no activation on normal summon, so you could presume one of those 3 back row is something that the Condemned Witch is able to search. We may or may not have seen it in game 1. No barrier statue this time from Boot, so Aquard has the opportunity to fight back. Twin Twister! Oh, man. Pitching Xyz Remora. Going after the 2 on the far right. One of them was Lance. We're going to try to protect Condemned Witch here, potentially, from any spells or traps. And we're going to lose the other one. It was a Book of Moon. 2 classic staples in Masochist. Doing that in draw phase, notably. Normal summon of Hero, Lord of the River. This is normal summon or flip face up. You can target face the monster in the field. That target is treated as a spirit monster. Return that target to the hand during the end phase. That is a UCAN effect, and it is a spirit monster itself. But notably, it's also a level 4 water. Or Hebo, excuse me. I said hero. Boot thinking about this one. And we're going to go ahead and tribute off the Condemned Witch. There's a particular monster I'm thinking of that we could summon it, and there it is. We saw it in game 1. Lopter is here. That is a target, and we're immediately going to tribute Lopter off. And we're going to grab out Vala. Vala's going to special summon another generator. We're going to get the Lopter back, which is going to put her to 3,500. And we're going to activate World Legacy Monstrosity, getting rid of the Vala to bring out 2 more 9s. There's the Needhog, and there's the Utgarda. And just like that, we're going to use the Utgarda's effect, tribute 2 off, and we're going to deal with the Hebo immediately. Possibly trying to play around something like a Crystal Shark or any other way to extend by having a level 4 water on the field. I don't hate this. And just like that, looks like Aquard's turn has come to an end. We're seeing set 1, set 2, and a pass. Now, the Utgarda does go to grave per Monstrosity's effect, but I think it did its job. We're going to use the Lopter effect. We're going to get another generator. Aquard does not have a response. This is going to ride. We're going to get Vala back again. Going to bring out another one. That's going to ride as well. Going to get the Utgarda back. Does Aquard have a response? Let's have a Torrential Tribute! Torrential Tribute! We're going to use Utgarda in response to just go after the other back row. This makes sense. Makes sense. We forced out the Utgarda now. No response from Aquard. We're going to banish Skill Drain. That wouldn't have done anything because the Utgarda does tribute itself. It's no longer in the field. Rainbow Magician. 5 Rainbow Magician. Oh my god. These guys brought out all the floodgates. We're normal summoning White Stingray. We're just going to battle for 14, and we're just going to set 1. Perform a Pal, 5 Rainbow Magician says all monsters they control cannot attack or activate their effects. Because they had nothing in the back row, and Mazaboot's just going to pass. They had to set before going to battle phase, but now they are able to attack with the White Stingray. Minai Ruka is the draw that gives us 2 level 4s. That are water, notably. And we're going to battle for 29 here. Minai Ruka in. Stingray in. We saw some of Aquard's level 4s. We also know they have Zeus access. What are they going to do? We're going to overlay for Time Thief Redoer. Fantastic card. Very annoying card as well. Play back to Mazaboot. Redoer is going to trigger here in standby. If Redoer can snag like a spell or trap off the top, that would be huge. Spell! We hit a 1-for-1 off the top. So now Redoer will draw a card when it banishes. Mazaboot going to set 1. Summon Whiptail. Does Mazaboot have fucking Trident too? Holy shit. That back row from Aquard better be insane, because otherwise Dryden's going to be a pain in the ass. Although, Redoer sort of checks Dryden in a way. Aquard's really thinking on this one. We're going Redoer here. This is an interesting choice, because Mazaboot did set a card before summoning the Whiptail, so maybe Mazaboot thinks that Whiptail's going to try to get in, potentially. So Redoer's out of here. We draw a card, because we banished a monster and a spell. Monster banishes the Redoer, spell draws us a card. And let's begin the Zodiac piling. There's Tiger Mortar. We don't have any zoos in grave, but we're probably just going to stack a bunch and just make a Dryden. Warning point! We're going to warning point to prevent Dryden from hitting the field, which means the Time Thief Redoer can come back and take care of it. Zeus, if there's a Zeus in Boots deck, then, like, that can't be made either. What a huge trap. Wow. Stop dead in his tracks here. Redoer's going to return in the end phase. We're going to draw to 2. Redoer's going to activate in standby phase, take another card off the top of Boots' deck here. Not going to activate in standby phase. Interesting. We're just going, switching to attack. We're going to attack over. We're not going to risk anything. Oh, they can't activate the effect because of 5 rainbow. That's right. They used the trap. That's right. So we can't Redoer. That's why. I was like, why would you not Redoer? That makes no sense. We put Redoer to attack, but now we're thinking. Passing. We passed. Oh, because we don't have a card to set to attack. No! The 5 rainbow. And Planet Pathfinder to find the generator boss stage. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. The 5 rainbow might be doing its job here. Oh, that's so unfortunate that we didn't have a set because of the 5 rainbow. Oh, we're just summoning the Vala. Are we just going for it? Vala get Utgarda. This is not looking good for Aquard. And now we get to go up the Zoo chain. I imagine we have a Dryden, otherwise we would not be playing the Zoos. And there it is. Dryden gets to maintain the Whiptail because there is a Tiger Mortar. We're just going to attack over everything and keep the 2 materials on the Dryden. Half of Aquard's life gone just like that. And now Aquard has to deal with an Utgarda banish and a Dryden pop and 5 rainbow as well. This is nasty. This is nasty. That 5 rainbow put in so much work. There's a Buzzsaw Shark, but it can't use its effect because of the 5 rainbow. We're specialing Crystal Shark, which is allowed because it's in the hand. Looks like we just let this go, and then maybe on summon, Boot's going to do something. Makes sense. Dryden pop here. Getting rid of the Crystal Shark. Even if we have another extender here, the Utgarda. Okay, we have a set, so now Buzzsaw Shark can activate, but even with that being the case, Utgarda can just banish whatever Buzzsaw Shark summons. Oh, but we're just going to chain Dogmatica Punishment, and we're just going to... This is just lights out. We take out the Buzzsaw Shark. Intis is going to pop the back row. Aquard's going to be left with absolutely nothing, and there is more than enough damage on the field for Mazaboot to move on into the semifinals. And Aquard has to pass the turn. Wow, the 5 Rainbow Magician being absolutely devastating here. And with Mazaboot's generator... oh, Mazaboot can't attack because they don't have another set. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Maybe I spoke too soon. All right, Aquard's going to set. I mean, Utgarda can take it out at any point, so it's not like it really matters that much. Mazaboot just needs any set. There it is. Okay, we have the set. Everything to attack. I don't think this is lethal, though. Unless the Dryden can get over it. And it can. Wow. Oh, because it has the Whiptail anyway. It was always getting over it. Yep. All right. That is it. Mazaboot moves on. And ladies and gentlemen, you have your semi-finalists. Wow. What an insane set. What an absolutely insane set. Good games. Good games, good games, good games. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first match of the semifinals of the Diamond Masochist tournament. We have Endless Mazo absolutely dominating the first round with crazy Mech Knight, Pankratops, Bestial, good stuff, and Masochist with their super heavy Samurai Pendulum pile. This is going to be one for the ages. It looks like Masochist won the coin toss, and we saw what Masochist's deck can do uncontested. In their first round, we saw a crazy board of Baron, plus Scythe Lock, plus all this other crazy nonsense. Let's see if Chris can replicate that performance. Unfortunately, it does not look like they will be replicating that performance. There's a set pass from Masochist. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Endless Mazo has a huge opportunity here. And we're seeing a Tenyi Spirit Vishuda. We did not see this in the first round from Endless Mazo. So getting more and more information as the games progress. Gonna link off into the Monk. Vishuda can now bounce. Also notably gives us a Link monster if we have any Mech Knights. We're going to go for the Vishuda, bounce the set. Endless Mazo has a lot of go second cards. There is a world where they can maybe just OTK. We're going for Whiptail. I think we saw Dryden out of Endless Mazo game 1. We're going for Chakanine. It does give us material, but we're just going to immediately Xyz over it. Probably just straight into Dryden. Dryden for 2 with the Whiptail underneath. That's scary. Set 1 in the Tenyi column. Here comes the Mech Knight. It's Red Moon. Did not see Red Moon in game 1, so more information. 1,000 from the Monk, 1,200 from Dryden, and 23 from Red Moon. Not quite lethal, but it's a lot of damage. Just about 2/3 of Chris's life. And just like that, Endless Mazo's gonna pass. So Chris only has to deal with a Dryden and a possible back row, which is not the end of the world. Endless Mazo's start in round 1 was definitely much more explosive. All right, we're bringing out the scales. And there's the Big Benkei. We're going for Big Benkei. Is this going to be met by anything? It is going to be met by the Dryden. We're going to take out the Big Benkei, not only preventing the effect from resolving, but also taking out a scale notably. Crystal is yet to normal summon, and Dryden is now offline. There's a Skullcrabat Joker. Do we have a monkey board to give us scales? We are getting Oath Dragon. We're going to scale Oath. See if we have a high scale. I imagine we do. And there it is. We do have the high scale. This is a pendulum summon, but it's got to be from the hand here. Harmonizing would be huge. Dark Simorg. And it looks like that's it. But notably, this does deal with a lot of the stuff on the board. There is a back row, though, that Endless Mazo has, so they're not out of it yet. Take out the Monk with the Joker. It's kind of weird because Red Moon can be removable, but you have to take out the Dryden because it's guaranteed. Simorg's going to get banished, unfortunately. The attacks were probably done like that to maintain the Joker so that we can go into the extra deck in main 2. And we're creating the overlay network for a Baguska. That's going to put the Red Moon sideways, and play goes back to Endless. Baguska might buy Chris a little bit of time here, or not, because it's going to get Kaiju'd. There's Kumungus, and Sage de Fleur going to target the Red Moon and the opposing Oath Dragon. Special out the Sage de Fleur, pop both the Red Moon and the Oath Dragon. And there's a special summon of Cataroost, or rather a normal summon of Cataroost. And we're doing more Zodiac plays. That's our second Chakanine, by the way. This allows us to bring back the Dryden, and if we have Tiger Mortar, we can make Dryden back online again. Going for Whiptail, though, instead. Gonna continue to rank up here. Vespinato, Royal Rare, by the way. Saj de Fleur gets over the Kumongous. Or, I'm sorry, Vespinato does too, by 100. And this is game. I don't think Chris has anything else. Going second, Endless Mazo has managed to take game 1. Chris, unfortunately, did brick a little bit, but that is the nature of Masochist sometimes. I imagine Chris is going to want to go first in the game 2 here. All right, Chris fighting for their tournament life as they go first here in this game 2 of the semifinals of the Diamond Masochist tournament. Normal summoning Bumbuku is a lot stronger than we saw in game 1. This is going to get us the Porcupine. We're going to activate the Porcupine, special summon it out. And we're immediately going to link them off. Do we have the Magispector link? No, we have Electromite. That's way better. We did see that he has Electromite in the previous round. I do remember now when he was showing off a little bit. Gonna send the Wakushi, which is horrifying. And here comes double Iris. We get to pop double Iris and get Time Pendulum Graph with the Electromite. Gonna add the Wakushi back to hand. Trigger the third effect of Electromite to draw a card. And the double Iris on a chain to get Time Pendulum Graph. Wakushi plus Time Pendulum Graph plus 2 zones available to pen summon. This is a much stronger opening from Chris. Wakushi's in the scale. And just like that, we're going to fire it off. This should be full combo. There's the Big Benkei. We're going to summon the Wakushi, resolving the effect. Big Benkei is going to activate since there's a super heavy out. Get to add another. Going to get the Soul Gaia booster. Going to special this, or we're going to equip the Soul Gaia booster, then special it. Last time Chris did this, we saw a Artifacts Scythe Lock. We saw Baron. We saw a lot of stuff. But we didn't see Electromite on the field when it happened. So how crazy can it go? There's the Sarutobi. That's the enabler for the Scythe. Wakushi's going to go back into the scale here. Endless has a lot of tools for going second, though, so they might be able to crack Chris's board. We'll have to see. Oh, plus Chris is going to have Time Pendulum Graph this time, too. That's insane. All right, Pendulum Summon coming in. We've got 2 in the extra, or we got multiple things in the extra deck, so bring back the double Iris. Makes sense because we have Time Pendulum Graph. The Porcupine's coming out. And we had Harmonizing. Oh, my God. It just gets even crazier. Harmonizing can get Oaf here, and that's 10 for Baron. And Baron has hit the field. We've got 2 more material for Scythe. Or for Dagda to get us to Scythe. Or are we just going to stop here? Setting a couple. We know there's a Time Pendulum Graph. Not even going to go for the Scythe. I don't hate this entirely. Endless has shown a bunch of big main deck guys. Not a lot of stuff in the extra deck. Oh, he drew the Scythe. Never mind. Why go into Dagda if you already have the Scythe? You're just goated. That's gross. That's fucking gross. Drew a Swarm to target the Scythe, though. Oh, my God. What a crazy turn of events. The Scythe isn't going to be able to trigger, but Baron can negate. Is there a response from Endless? That's going to resolve, but it does force the Baron negate. Notably. Again, Endless doesn't play a lot of... We haven't seen Endless do a lot of stuff with the extra deck. So, we did see some Zoo plays. That's probably, like, the biggest thing this shuts off. But now all they have to play through is Time Pendulum Graph and not being able to use the extra deck. Everything else is still at their disposal. And never mind. Endless is passing. All right. We are putting back the Baron, and we are... I'm sorry, no, this is still on Endless's turn. My bad. Getting rid of the Baron for the Soul Gaia. And there's Purple Nightfall with 2 free column spots taken up by Chris, which means if we go Purple Nightfall into Blue Sky, that is 2 adds that the Blue Sky will be able to get. Chris does have the option to do something about this, but looks like they're just going to let it go. Blue Sky coming in. And there's the Blue Sky in a column with 2 monsters. That means he gets to add 2. And looks like Chris is going to let it go. So Red Moon's going to come in. And so is Indigo. Red Moon does represent a pop. Indigo's also just big. So we're going to summon Indigo. Probably summon the Red Moon while we're at it, too. We're just bringing out all the big guys. And we have Yellow Star as well. The hand is just flooded with Mech Knights. And here comes Tanky. Now, remember, Chris did activate Scythe, so Endless can't use the extra deck. Do they have something else to search off this Tanky? Grabbing Whiptail. Okay. Giving themselves another column, notably. Do they have, like, another Purple Nightfall or something? Just summoning Whiptail. We're just going battle. We're just trying to kill everything. I guess I get it. Time Pendulum Graph gets to clear one of these. Killing off the Whiptail. Just doesn't want to deal with it, even though they are Scythe locked. So everything else dies here, except for the Sarutobi. Sarutobi's a little bit too big. But man, 4 Mech Knights. Crazy way to clean up. But Chris is a pen deck, so they can recover. Loaded extra deck. Chris just gonna pop the Tanky here and deal 5. No interaction on Endless's side. The Purple Nightfall will come back next turn. The Sarutobi can also take any of these Mech Knights out. We're just going for the pen summon here. Gonna get Bambuku. Wisdom Eye. Bambuku's gonna activate. Probably add... Well, we haven't normaled yet, so we can normal whatever we get. We could get QB. Yada's good, too. Just depends what we're looking for here. Then maybe want to... Well, we already pen summoned, so... Here's where we go from here. Probably just try to clean up as many of these Mech Knights as we can. Getting Ogama, that's fine, too. I believe Chris has... Cyclone minimum? They do have Tempest as well. I think we saw that in the first round. Where do we go from here? Probably just try to dig into the extra deck and make a bunch of big guys. You just have to contend with purple coming back minimum. We're just going battle. Interesting. Clearing blue sky. Sarutobi can attack in defense position. That is the super heavy samurai special. Very interesting that we didn't go further here. Overlay. For Baguska. Huh. Well, that's one way to hold things off. And another back row. Benkei gonna activate to get another card. Probably get Bike. Oh, no, Soul Piercer. Yeah, that makes sense. And play goes back to Endless. Purple Nightfall going to come back here in the standby phase. Immediately go to defense because of the Baguska. Dark Ruler. Oh my god. Huge card from Endless here. The Baguska gets negated. Everything can go forward. We still don't have a way to take out this Sarutobi at present. Yellow Star can start taking cards out, though. Red Moon, unfortunately, doesn't have a column. We're going to go Chalice in response to the Yellow Star. That could have been very bad. We could have Chalice something that could get over the Sarutobi. So just kill Bambuku Baguska here. And Druis Worm in main phase 2. Gonna get the Scythe out of here. Is that 2 Druis Worms? That's 2 Druis Worms, by the way. If we have a way to get rid of the Druis Worm, we can send the Sarutobi. We do. We're linking them off. into Mech Knight of the Morningstar Royal Rare. Oh my god, that's incredible for this deck. So not only do we get to trigger that, we get to trigger the Druis Worm to send the Sarutobi. Morningstar is going to add here. We're going to get World Legacy Succession. Succession can activate. We can get back Purple Nightfall, but if we're out of targets, it doesn't do us much good. We're overlaying. Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation? Oh, we're just trying to clean up here. Take out the Wakaushi. Go for World Legacy Succession. Get back the Indigo Eclipse. Notably, that's an 8. Are we making a rank 8 now? Oh my god, we are. We're still going. Hope Harbinger! Oh my god, now we can stop Chris from getting scales. Endless's deck is crazy, dude. All right, Chris is going to normal summon Yada, activate the effect to get a spell. That's going to grab Cyclone. This could bait out the Hope Harbinger. And then maybe give Chris scales, but even then... Oof, we're just setting and passing. This is rough. Dark Arm Dragon can pop again. This isn't looking good. Chris also gave Endless another column, and Tenki is the draw. Now we get access to the zoos. Oh, things are not looking good for Chris. Normal summon Thoroughblade. We have not gone through the zoo engine yet. We're just going to battle. Why not? We're going to Cyclone in response here, but Harbinger can just take it out. I think the other set's Tempest, which doesn't have a target, because now there's no more Magispectors. This might be lights out. This is more than enough for lethal if that's the case. Morningstar in. Dark Armed in. Harbinger for lethal. And Endless with the 2-0. Absolutely dominating performance. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Endless Mazo, your first finalist. And next up, boy, do we have a good one. Mexicist and Mazaboot. And here we have the second semifinal match of the Diamond Masochist tournament. We saw Boot's ridiculous Zodiac generator pile. I have no idea what the hell Boot's deck is. But Mexicist is on a Unchained Fiend pile of sorts. Droll and Lockbird immediately getting dropped from Boot after the activation of an Abomination. And Chandragleer being used in response here. Pitching Stovey Torby to get Fair Welcome Labyrinth. What is this, a meta deck? And we're just setting everything, summoning the Aruha, and we're just passing. Okay, just like that. Boot's gonna set 1. Boot's gonna set 2. And we're gonna pass. Not the opening that Boot probably wants. We're gonna go big welcome here in the end phase. Huge card, especially considering it's Labyrinth. We're gonna be seeing, we're gonna see an Ariane. Bounce back the Aruha. That's gonna trigger Ariane. And the Stovey Torby. And the Chandragleer. Gonna get all those back. Ton of value here. Absolutely a ton of value. Stovey Torby's gonna summon itself. Chandragleer's gonna go to hand. We're gonna draw a card. And we're gonna bring back the Aruha. We're gonna activate Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch. Try to snipe one of these back row here. Probably dump the Fiendish Rhino Warrior. It's Dogmatica Punishment. That's a big one. We know that Boot has Intis. There goes Rhino Warrior. That's going to trigger. Dump a Fiend from the deck. And we're going to dump the Toddler of Torment, which will trigger it to special summon it face down. And Mexicist is looking very good right now. And still in the end phase, we're going to tribute off the Stovey-Torby, get rid of the Chandrigleer, and we're going to set another one. We're going to get Labyrinth set up. And now it is finally Mexicist's turn. That was all during Boot's end phase. Mexicist's setup is looking phenomenal right now. Boot only has one back row. Mexicist has a lot of opportunities here. We're going to activate the Ariane. Get rid of the Fair Welcome. See if Boot has a response. They do not. Gonna bring out another Fiendish Rhino Warrior from the deck. We're gonna activate Book of Moon to set the Fiendish Rhino Warrior down. We're gonna chain Big Welcome in response to bounce it. We have yet to normal this turn. So we can just normal the Fiendish Rhino Warrior back out. That's gonna trigger the Ariane. And the Stovey-Torby. And the Chandrigleer. Oh, man. This is not looking good for Boot. Chandrigleer is going to add itself to hand. Stovey-Torby is going to summon itself. Ariane is going to draw. And we get to set. Or we're going to normal summon the Fiendish Rhino Warrior. We get the Toddler. Toddler's going to flip itself to dump another Fiend. God, look at the synergies. We're going to dump the Shiana. And man, I mean, this has to be a rock, skip, and a jump to... Or a hop, skip, and a jump just to an OTK here. Xyz Armor Torpedo. We did not see this initially. Shiyama's going to activate now. We're going to pop the Aruha. Shiyama comes out. Going to trigger the Aruha. We're at 6,300 here. We're not far off lethal. There's Shavara. That's lethal. Unless Boot's got something, this looks like a quick game one. Torpedo in, Shiyama in, Shavara in. And Ariana's gonna clean it up. And just like that, Mexicist turn 2 OTK. I don't think anyone thought Boot was gonna go down that quickly, but just like that, Mexicist is one win away from the finals. All right, Boot's going first this time. We've seen how devastating Boot's deck can be going first, so we're going to start with a Vala. Vala's going to dump another generator, bring itself out to the field. It's going to use its effect to summon yet another generator. Most likely Utgara. Oh no, we're going to bring back what we just dumped. We're going to bring back the Naugfar, and we're just going to overlay. We're just going straight for Hyperiton. Hyperiton set 2. I mean, that's pretty good. Could be worse. Let's see how Mexicist responds. Harpy's Feather Duster! Boot's gonna chain lance to the Hyperiton. Protect it from any other nonsense. We're gonna let the other back row go. It was a Book of Moon. Abomination's Prison coming down. We're gonna get an Aruha. Normal the Aruha. And we're just gonna go battle and crash the Aruha in. Mexicist's gonna take some damage. Doesn't matter because Aruha triggers here. We're gonna see the Hyperiton attempt to negate it. And it is going to negate. I feel like Mexicist has a plan here. Set 1. Set 2. Set 3. Okay. We got to get the materials at the Hyperiton somehow. Lance could have made that Hyperiton a little bit difficult to deal with. Normal summon Right Hand Shark from Boot. And we're just going to sink damage. This is a 2-turn clock. Lost Wind on the Hyperiton unless there's a response. There is not, so Hyperiton is sunk by half. That is a permanent half. Making it much easier to deal with. We're just going to link it off because it's too small. We're going to go into Pit Knight early. That's going to reset Lost Wind. You never go into Pit Knight early when you feel like you're in a winning position, but you got to do what you got to do. Mexicist is going to draw up 3 cards over Boot. Not looking good. But we don't have a monster on Mexicist's side. So maybe Boot can just chip away at Mexicist here, and maybe we can steal a win. Oh, never mind. Well, big welcome in the draw phase. Gonna bring out the Lab Archfiend. A Masochist classic. That's gonna trigger the Lab Archfiend. Special summoning it to the field. That's gonna activate its effect to add or set a battle trap to the field. We saw Fair Welcome. That's gonna trigger Pit Knight early, though, because we did play it in Pit Knight early zone. That's going to trigger Lost Wind, though, in response. So we're going to guarantee this goes through. Maybe a slight misstep there, but to be fair, we had the Lost Wind anyway, so it didn't matter too much. We're going to set the Fair Welcome. This was all in Boot's draw phase. We're going to activate the Vala, pitch a Lopter. See if that prompts a response. Mexicist says okay. Vala hits the field. Vala's going to try to special summon another generator. We've already Lost Winded. Do we have 2 Lost Winds? We had 2 Lost Winds. That's crazy. Vala gets negated. Archfiend gets buffed by another 400 because a normal trap hit the grave. We're going to go Ghastly Glitch in end phase here. Pop the Vala. We're going to dump a Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Rhino's going to trigger. That also buffs the Archfiend by another 4. Probably dump the Toddler. Yep, there goes the Toddler. Toddler's going to special summon itself face down. That could flip up next turn to dump something else. Just more material after more material. And just like that, I think Boot is in trouble here. Toddler flips. We dump another Fiend. I believe there's 2 Fiendish Rhino Warriors in Mexicist's deck. We're just going to send Shendragolier. That's fine. Archfiend to attack. We're going to activate Big Welcome. Bring the Toddler back to hand, which triggers the Shendragolier. Bringing that to hand. Summoning the Shendragolier. Activate Fair Welcome. Pop the Pit Knight. Setting Dynamicious from the deck. Lab Archfiend gets in for 32. The Chandraglier's effect got attack, excuse me, got negated. But we can quick effect just dump it and the Toddler. And Boot has Gamma to use in response to the Chandraglier. Unfortunately, this is still on Mexicist's turn, so they can't convert the Gamma into anything. We can go Toddler here, because that was dumped for the Chandraglier's effect. It's going to reset itself. God, Boot's down to nothing. End phase on Mexicist's turn. Gamma goes to banish. Pit Knight early comes back, I guess. It can't get over the Toddler because Toddler's 2k defense. Lab Archfiend is 3,200. And we just go end phase. Dynamicious end phase. Pitch, pop, or banish early, excuse me. It was Soul Scissors. Archfiend gets another 400 from another normal trap hitting the grave. Chandelier triggers because a normal trap card left the field. And we just need one more monster that has just a few attack points to get to 48. And that's Chandraglier, which we already know is in hand. And just like that, Mexicist is going to the finals with an absolutely dominating performance over Boot. Boot was looking like they were going to be a favorite. And Mexicist just made quick work of them. Wow, this deck is absolutely sick as fuck, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got Endless Maso. We have Mexicist in the finals. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. I need to use the bathroom, and then we will do the finals. It all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. The final match of the Diamond Masochist tournament. We've got Endless Maso, who has shown absolutely no mercy with their crazy Mech Knight, Trident, Zodiac deck, going up against Mexicist's Fiend, Unchained, Labyrinth pile. So it's going to be very interesting who will reign supreme here. We're seeing Endless Maso kick things off. Normal summoning a Zodiac Cataroost. I imagine we're just going to go up the chain a little bit here. Go into a Trident as a part of our beginning end board here. Seemed like Mexicist may have had a response. We do know they're on some of the lab cards. Straight into a 2-material Trident, so there's 1 interruption. We're going to set a card in Trident's column, which means we're probably going to see a Mech Knight, and we do. It is Purple Nightfall. That'll allow us to banish it to add another Mech Knight, and Purple Nightfall will return on the following turn. We're just going to pass here, though. And in end phase, the Chandraglier gonna pitch the Toddler. The synergy there is incredible. Chandraglier's gonna set Big Welcome. The Toddler's gonna trigger and set itself in defense because it was sent from the hand to the graveyard. And just like that, Mexicist is already playing on Endless's end phase and already able to set up before their turn even begins. Mexicist draws. Endless has at least 1 interruption with the Trident. We're going to start by flipping the Toddler. That's going to trigger to send a Fiend to grave. We're probably going to send Rhino. No, we're just going to go straight for the Soul Scissors. Okay. We're going to tribute away the Purple Nightfall for the Radiant. That is a huge payoff for Mexicist because now they don't have to deal with the Purple Nightfall continuously getting resources. We're going to activate the Big Welcome Labyrinth here now. Going to grab an Ariane. Bounce back the Toddler. That's going to trigger Ariane. And we're also going to get the Chandraglier back to hand because a trap left the field. Chandraglier goes back to hand. Ariane draws. And we get to summon Fiendish Rhino Warrior. We can activate Chandraglier now. Pitch the Toddler that we bounce, so it'll summon itself again. Endless has no response to this. We're going to set the Fair Welcome. That's going to trigger the Toddler. It's going to set itself. Crazy synergy from Mexicist's deck. Absolutely insane. We're going to go Ariane Effect. Send the Fair Welcome. Get out a Ruha straight from the deck. And we're going to link. We're going to go into Haggard Lizardos. Triggering Fiendish Rhino Warrior because it hit the graveyard. We're going to dump the Shiana. Trigger the Lizard. Banish itself. Sinks the Radiant by 2k. Draw a card. Shiana activate. We're going to pop a Ruha here. Get Shiana. That triggers a Ruha because it was destroyed. Probably gets Sayama? Could also just get Shavara here. Yeah, that seems way better. Gonna activate Prison. God. We're still going. Gonna add Escape. Set Escape. Trigger Shiana. Pop the Escape. Go after the back row. Dryden's so bad into this just because it's Unchained. The back row was Lancia. Interesting. So Lancia is going to special summon itself, prevent banishing. Well, that's if they tribute it off. We're just going to go battle here. Dryden does nothing into this board. Shavar is going to go after the Radiant. We're going to trigger Soul Scissors because a monster left the field. Soul Scissors triggers. God, that's hard to say. Pop the Lancia. And now Shiama can just clear Dryden here, or attempt to. No matter how you slice it, it's not great, because if Dryden pops the Shiama, like, okay. Chalice! It didn't matter! Oh my god. Mexicist had everything. Didn't even need to worry about it. That's gross. A Gizmek from Endless here. Summoning in defense. Dried it down. I don't even think this matters, man. We just make Caesar. Oh, no, we're making Sheridan? What the fuck? We're just gonna send the fucking Gizmek to the graveyard. Oh my god. And then that triggers the Sheridan. And it triggers the Shavara. What the fuck is this deck, dude? Chamber gets set. Sheridan takes the Gizmek, so now Endless doesn't have access to it. Unbelievable. The lines on this deck are crazy, bro. And we're not done. We're going into Muckracker, of course, because we can. Why not? Mexicist is on. This is nuts. Go for the Ariana. Wow. Endless, good luck. 2 cards into 6. Let's see what you can do. Mexicist, I was about to say Mexicist did give Endless a column, summoning the Gizmek where they did. So Blue Sky can trigger for 2 here. But there's no other columns currently on the field. There's also no way to get rid of the Blue Sky. We're just going to activate Chamber. Get back to Shavara. Mexicist also getting rid of their only column by doing that. The last card is a Kaiju. It's a Kumongous. This is interesting because now there's another column that Endless can use here. We're going to summon Indigo. Indigo can move, so now we can summon Red Moon. Slide to the right. We're going to trigger Big Welcome. Bounce the Muckracker so there isn't a column anymore, so you can't summon the Red Moon. That's going to trigger the Ariane and the Chandragleer. Chandragleer goes to hand. Ariane draws. Looks like we are going to summon. Or not. Never mind. We can make... Okay, well, Gizmek's now back in Endless's graveyard, notably. Skullmeister again! This card has been insane for Mexicist the entire event. First stopping the DPE, now stopping Gizmek. Now we're just Chandragleerin pitching Lost Wind. Get set up. Endless can make Morningstar here. I don't know what it does, but they can, technically. We're just going to go to battle and clean up a bit. Indigo into the Shavara. And Blue Sky into the Ariane. We go Morningstar here. We can put it in the column with the Kumongous. Oh, we're not going to do that. Interesting. We know the last card in hand is Red Moon. That's going to trigger the Lost Wind in the graveyard of Mexicist. God, the value is just nuts. They pitch that with the Chandragleer. Morningstar resolves. They add a World Legacy card to hand. They can get Succession. They can get Succession, bring back purple, but we're already post-battle phase here. They're going to add Secret. Going to just try to wall up a bit here. They do still have Gizmek in grave as well. That can activate again this turn. They also banish stuff with Gizmek, so they might not have every card that they want. Toddler flips. It's going to dump another Fiend. We're going to immediately activate Secret here. Go for Indigo. That resolves. So Secret revives Indigo. World Legacy Secret negates the Toddler because of its effect. If you're unaware, Secret says negate any opponent's monster effect that activates in the same column as a Mech Knight you control. And Moveman is in fact a quick effect. So they technically can negate something else here as well. We're going to try to Lost Wind the Indigo preemptively here to prevent it from Secret negating something else. That's going to force Endless to use the Indigo. We're going to move Indigo center. That negates it. We get Shavara, or Shyama, excuse me. We're just going to use the Shiana here. We're going to pop the Kumongous. That's going to pop the World Legacy Secrets, which in turn is going to pop the Indigo. After all that, we are finally going to use the setup. This is going to allow us to get 2 traps from the grave or banish. Shuffle them back. And we get to set Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch. This card has been absolutely instrumental for Mexicist's success, as well as a bottomless trap hole. We're just trying to lock the game up here. This is still game 1, by the way. We're still in game 1. Setting a third. We're going to link off into Muckracker. Remember, we bounced this Muckracker earlier to deny Endless a column, and we're going to pass there. This is going to allow Endless to go for Gizmek. Endless is running out of cards. They only got 10 cards left in deck. They're going to draw and go to 9, so they can only Gizmek one more time. But these are 2 big monsters. We're going to immediately fire off the Ghastly Grasp, take out the Gizmek. We're going to dump a Fiend. This would force Endless to use Gizmek again and can't pop. Rhino was the send. That's going to trigger to dump another Fiend. Of course, the Chandragleer is going to trigger to add itself back to hand. We're going to dump Versago the Destroyer. I'm pretty sure I just saw that. Okay. Normal Cataroost. We've already gone through Trident, though. Dark World Accession? You've got to be fucking kidding me. The Versago the Destroyer acts as a substitute fusion material. We're getting rid of all of our fiends from the graveyard to summon Cloudlifter, Chaos King of the Dark World, pop the opponent's entire fucking board, have a 10,000 attack point monster on the field. Cataroost triggers. Who gives a fuck? We get to shuffle the Trident back, and Endless just passes. What the fuck did I just witness? Colorless goes in. Gizmek is here. They are down to 1 card in deck. So Gizmek can wall, but it gets bottomless. And then Colorless just fucking takes it. What the fuck is this deck? I cannot believe what I just fucking witnessed. Based alert. Based alert. Based alert. Oh my god. That was game 1. That was game 1. Mexicist is 1 win away from the crown of the Diamond Masochist tournament. That was fucking unreal. Okay. Endless choosing to go second. Game 2 of the finals. Endless choosing to go second. Sarama normal summon. Aruha target the Sarama for destruction. It's gonna pop. We're gonna special. That's gonna trigger the Sarama. Great start for Mexicist. Backs to the wall for Endless here. This is tournament point. Endless does have a lot of good stuff for going second, so I would not count them out. Shiama hits the board. Shiama activates. We're gonna pop the Aruha. Aruha triggers. Go for Shavara here. This makes Caesar. You would think we're playing meta decks when you see Caesar turn 1, but no, this is in fact Masochist. Set 1. Set 2. Set 3. We do know that Mexicist plays plenty of traps. They are playing a Fiend Labyrinth Unchained pile that apparently also plays fucking Colorless. Okay. Endless Opting to go second, starting off with Subversion to force out the Caesar here. Instead, we're going to see Ghastly Glitch. We're just going to pop the Caesar. This also dumps a Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Subversion has no target, so we're done. New chain, Rhino Warrior. Also Shavara. Shavara can probably set a chamber or an escape. We're going to set chamber. Rhino's going to dump. I was about to say, is that a Diabolica? We have not seen this yet. Now we get Shavara back to hand because of the Diabolica. Catarus normal summon. Go for Chakanine. We know one of the back rows is Chamber. Two others we still don't know. Chakanine straight into Dryden. In defense mode. We're not messing around. Set 1. Set 2. Are we making columns for Mech Knights here? Set 3. And passing. Trying to keep all of our columns open, it seems. Again, Dryden does not line up very well into an Unchained deck of all things. Normally a very powerful card. We're going to activate the Shiama. Target the Chamber. We're going to chain the Chamber to bring out an Unchained as well. We have another Aruha in deck. Sarama gets summoned. So does Shiama. Gonna use Sarama. Go after the Chamber. See if that prompts a response. We're gonna chain Chalice to try to stop this. But we have the Shavara that's known in hand from the previous turn. Chalice will no longer have a target, so the Sarama will still resolve here. Sarama resolves. We get the Chamber. Pop the Chamber. New chain. We're going to have the Chamber activate. Not to mention the Sarama's going to activate as well. As well as the Diabolica, which allows us to special summon her. Have not seen her all tournament, by the way, until just now. Huge body. Sarama triggers now. We get an Aruha. Chamber's going to trigger. And there's a second Aruha. We're just flooding the board here. Shiama still hasn't even activated to pop a back row. All of these are terrible hits for Dryden. Here goes Shiama. Targeting the Aruha. We're letting it go. We're going to pop Aruha. Go after a back row. Lost the World Legacy Succession with no targets. It's going to trigger the Aruha on a new chain. Or does Endless have something? No, we're just going battle phase here. We're going to activate Fair Welcome. Pop the other back row with Fair Welcome. There goes the Lancia again. Oof, Lancia 2 games in a row against a deck that doesn't really matter against particularly. Gonna set Dynamicious here. Lancia's a body at least. You save off some damage, but Endless is on 1 card. This is rough. Aruha's attack is negated from the Fair Welcome. Shiama goes in here to kill Drident. You got to use the Drident now. I guess, like, Diabolica's probably the best target here. Oh, no, just going after the Shiama. Interesting. Shavar is going to take out Drident now. Interestingly enough, the Diabolica cannot clear the Lancia. So Endless is going to have some life points here to work with still. Mexicist is in such a commanding position, though. I don't know if it matters, to be honest. We're going to link here. Muckracker. Yep. Get to trigger Shavara. Set another Unchained. Probably go for Escape here. Yep. Just doesn't end, man. Endless Maso drawing to 2 cards with a Lancia on the field, and boy, do they have a lot to work through. They did opt to blind second, though. Sage de Fleur gonna target the Lancia. God, this sucks so bad because you're playing against Unchained. You know they have Escape, so you don't want to go after that one. They're going for the center. They know it's Dynamicious from the set. Mexicist is going to chain Dynamicious, go after the Lancia here. Pitch the Chandragleer, which is just going to add itself back anyway. So it's basically free. Sage still summons. Oh, I guess Chandragleer doesn't trigger. That's fine. Yellow Star in the column with Aruha and the other set. And we're just going to go to battle phase and try to clean up a bit. Aruha just triggers, though, so it's not like it really does much. Going to Muckracker here. We just activate Escape. Just pop Aruha, pop Sage. That triggers Dynamicious to resurrect itself, so you have another body. Man, I think Endless is out of it. I don't want to say it, but it's looking rough. That triggers the Aruha because it got popped. It's going to trigger the Chandragleer. Get to add back for value. That's Shiyama. Oh, Shiyama got shuffled back. That's right. Okay, so we bring back the Shiyama. Using Muckracker to send the Shiyama instead so that Muckracker can stick around, and Endless is left with nothing but a Mech Knight Yellow Star on the field, a 2200 body, and Mexicist just has full control in this situation. They have so much advantage in the graveyard. They're going to start with Muckracker. They can bring back a Fiend. They can pitch the Chandragleer. They're going to get the Shavara. They're going to pitch Lab Archfiend instead, because why not? Normal the Chandragleer. Bring back the Shiyama. Pop the Chandragleer. We have a trap. We can just add it back anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Do we have Caesar number 2? Oh my god, we do. That's wild. Double Caesar. Has the Omni for anything that Endless draws here. We're going to take out Yellow Star. Muckracker and Dynamicious get in. It's not lethal, but it may as well just be lights out for Endless here. I don't know how they draw out of this. I got to be honest. I'm trying to think of anything that can do it, and I'm struggling. Heart of the cards. Set 1 pass into a Caesar. That does not feel good. Mexicist can easily put lethal on board here. Caesar protects. I think that might be GG, ladies and gentlemen. We might have our champion here in one more turn. We're just going battle. We attack with everything. Chalice pump in damage step for lethal. GG. Oh my god. What a fucking way to end it, but in the damage step itself. And Mexicist is your Diamond Masochist champion. Congratulations. What a performance. What a performance to all of the competitors, right? The competitors all did an absolutely phenomenal job. But of course, only one person can be the winner, and it is, of course, Mexicist. What an absurdly powerful deck. The fact that that's a Masochist deck is incredible to me. That is going to do it for the Diamond Masochist tournament. I really hope you all enjoyed. I will be posting the deck list so that you guys can check them out for yourselves. But this was awesome. I'm glad we got to do it. If people like it, maybe we could do it more. We'll have to see. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I think that's going to do it. We'll see you next time. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout out the patrons for all their continued support. So shoutouts to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Medolce, Moto, Cameron L. Smith, The Synchro Guy, Pony Stark, Daniel Howell, Little Fadeleaf, Dan the Man Hoban, Draconic, Brian Dancer, Class 7, JW11860, Flannel Daddy, literally all of the guinea pigs, MBT canceled by community soon, canceled by committee soon, canceled by players soon, MBT and Nimnims 1, Boxer Brief, Fueled Night of Passion, The Nova129, Chris Adams, Pink Frappe, and Blazing Soul. Thank you all so much again for watching, and we will see you next time.